Tonight on CTV News at 6, charges stayed in a high-profile sexual assault case.
A week ago, I would not have expected this.
Why the lawyer for the accused, John and Leigh Ann de Ruiter, says they're unhappy. As patio season arrives, a plea to the city from bars and restaurants.
And they turn around and they put this huge fee on it, which we think is completely unreasonable.
And the playoffs are upon us. A new first-round opponent for the Oilers for the first time in 5 years.
I mean, it is kind of nice to play a different team. Should be an exciting series. Just another crack to win it all.
Double-digit daytime highs on the way for the weekend, and we should be up around 20 early next week.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. Sexual assault charges against a self-proclaimed spiritual leader and his wife have been stayed. Their lawyer claims John and Leigh Ann de Ruiter were the victims of an overzealous Crown prosecutor. Amanda Anderson reports.
A week ago, I would not have expected this.
Just 5 months before his clients were scheduled to go on trial, the Alberta Crown Prosecution Service confirms it has stayed charges against John and Leigh Ann de Ruiter.
And we're just glad that it's over.
The husband and wife were each facing 6 counts of sexual assault. When charges were laid in 2023, police said John was the leader of a spiritual group known as the College of Integrated Philosophy, or the Oasis Group. It was alleged John told female members of the group he was directed by a spirit to engage in sexual activity with them, and if they did, it would help them achieve spiritual enlightenment.
We were made aware of certain disclosure and certain conduct by the Crown that was troubling, and I think was so troubling that it caused the senior staff at the Crown Prosecutor's Office to enter the stay of proceedings.
In a statement, the Alberta Crown Prosecution Service says, "We understand the personal and emotional impact this process can have and the disappointment and frustration this outcome may cause." It went on to say multiple senior prosecutors reviewed the file, determining it could not proceed with charges. 2 of the 6 complainants asked a publication ban protecting their identities be lifted, which was granted late Friday afternoon. Batos understands they're likely unhappy with the stay of proceedings, but says so are his clients.
Because some people will want to suspect guilt was always there and that they got off on a technicality. We want to make it clear that this is far from that.
The ACPS says an internal review is underway to look at what happened and ensure a situation like this does not happen again. Batos says his team plans to ask a separate publication ban on part of the proceedings be lifted so that more details about what happened can be brought to light. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
For the first time in 5 years, the Edmonton Oilers will get a break from facing the LA Kings in the opening round of the NHL playoffs. They'll face a different team from California, the Anaheim Ducks. It's been nearly a decade since these two teams met in the postseason. Aaron Manisa has more on the matchup.
As the Oilers prepare for another run at the Stanley Cup, preparations are underway in Ice District to get the plaza ready for the postseason. The Oilers and the Anaheim Ducks last met in the postseason in 2017 during the second round. A maddening moment for many fans was this game-tying goal in the dying seconds of Game 5. The goal was reviewed for goalie interference and deemed a good goal. Edmonton lost the series in 7.
Frustrating game, frustrating moment for sure. Who knows how far we could end up going.
4 players from that roster remain today: Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Darnell Nurse, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Back then, the Oilers were a young, inexperienced team going up against a veteran-laden club.
Well, now that's flipped because almost a decade later, the Oilers have been through the rigors of the Stanley Cup playoffs and the final, whereas the Ducks went through a rebuild and they're now back in the dance.
The team has had its struggles this season. However, hockey analyst Tom Gazzola says defenseman Matthias Ekholm explained how the postseason is different.
He goes, I think we know how to play this time of year. We know how to raise our level. So if you want to call it flipping the switch, sure, you can call it that, but now they know that this is for real, and I think they're engaged more so than earlier parts of the season.
Fans are hopeful this team will make it back to the final for a 3rd year.
The maturity, we've been there, done this before.
I mean, it is kind of nice to play a different team. Should be an exciting series. Just another crack to win it all.
Watching them the last little bit, they seem a lot more calmer, a lot more experienced and ready to go again because they got the experience under their belt.
Game 1 between the Oilers and the Ducks is Monday night at Rogers Place. Naranisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Edmonton City Council is getting into the playoff spirit.
Hi everyone, on behalf of City Council and all Edmontonians, we want to congratulate the Edmonton Oilers for making the playoffs, and we are here to cheer you on and go Oilers, go!
They rock the blue and orange while sending good luck to the team. Oilers diehard Councillor Reed Clark says he did some digging through his closet to bring a number of different outfits. He is confident in the team's chances.
I love that we're playing Anaheim in the first round. I love that we have home ice advantage. I'm always an optimistic Oilers fan, diehard, so I like where we're at this year.
He says he likes the Oilers' chances if they can make it out of the Pacific Division. Edmonton's mayor says provincial policies are to blame for a new fee on restaurant patios set up on public spaces like sidewalks. At least one downtown restaurant says the added cost may mean the end of its outdoor seating. Connor Hogg reports.
It's lunchtime at the Rocky Mountain Ice House on Jasper Ave.
We have beautiful summers in Edmonton, so we try to take advantage and be outside as much as possible.
While the patio is open for those who can't wait to soak up warmer weather, it may close sooner than expected.
It'll be worth it for us to at least keep this one up for the summer patio, right? And then deal with it at the end of the year.
This year, the city is charging $3,700 a year for a seasonal sidewalk patio with boardwalk sidewalk. It costs $6,900 for a year-round license. For the Ice House, which has previously opened its seating all year round, the owners say it feels like a bait-and-switch.
And they turn around and they put this huge fee on it, which we think is completely unreasonable.
The owners already know the numbers don't add up for the winter patio, and they've closed the patio at the nearby Cask and Barrel. Mayor Andrew Knack says the city is subsidizing 50% of the cost. He says some of the money that previously paid for the patios came from the city's automated traffic enforcement program.
We've seen the province change the rules on that, and so there is a cost to creating the patios that extend into road right-of-way. To be clear, there are free patio options, so businesses can set up a free patio depending on how much space they're looking to use.
We're seeing right now only about 8 patios are deciding to not move forward, but we'll watch that this summer, and especially next summer, to see if folks are renewing.
Knack wants to reopen conversations about the province's photo radar policy to free up more money and patio space in the city.
Within the next year, if we keep going the way that we are and we don't work as a team to help the downtown core, it's going to be a ghost town again.
The Ice House says the future of its summer patio will depend on the restaurant's success this season and during the playoffs. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
We have reached out to the province's transportation minister about the mayor's comments. The province says it is working on a response. Your property tax increase for this year has now been finalized. While the city's portion is still going up by 6.9%, the provincial education tax brings it to 7.7%. What you pay depends on how much your property is worth. At 7.7%, the average homeowner will pay about $300 more this year. Mayor Andrew Knack wants to use future tax notices to educate taxpayers about how provincial taxes impact their bill. He also suggests the city should stop collecting provincial taxes for the government. The mayor says this is the last year council will pass an increase this high. He's promising to prioritize economic development, growth management, quality services, and safety in the next 4-year budget.
Everything we do in this next 4-year budget needs to be focused on those areas. And that means there are things that we currently do that, while incredibly valuable, while incredibly impactful, do not align with those 4 areas.
The city is in the middle of a major public engagement effort ahead of this fall when council plans to build the budget from scratch. The long-awaited Lewis Farms Rec Centre will cost $32 million more than expected, despite city efforts to trim costs. Council learned last month that construction costs were rising, but the dollar figure was kept private while contracts were being finalized. The project has been through multiple recosting phases. Engineers trimmed $90 million by removing some features, changing materials, and shrinking some aquatic and fitness areas. This $32 million increase brings the total budget from $311 million to $343 million.
We had to make a choice. It's got to get done. And I think at this point now that we approve that budget overage, it's how do we get that done as efficient, as quick, all possible, that stays within that number.
Councillor Reid Clark has toured the construction site and says the revamped rec centre will cater less to elite athletes in favour of community needs. The facility and surrounding park are expected to open in late 2028. One city councillor says it's time to add space for impounded vehicles because the current lot is bursting at the seams. Councillor Aaron Rutherford has sent a letter to the Police Commission about the overflowing impound lot. Both police and the city tow vehicles there. Rutherford says it's time to find a bigger space as Edmonton's population grows. She says parking enforcement requests have gone up 45% in the last 2 years. There's now a backlog of more than 500 vehicles that can't be towed until space opens in the impound lot.
Ultimately, we don't have decision-making authority over moving that tow lot. We need the Police Commission and EPS to identify it as a priority capital project, even if it is a nominal capital project.
Rutherford says once Yellowhead construction is complete in a couple of years, tow trucks will access the impound lot through the Prince Charles neighbourhood, which she believes is a safety and quality of life concern. A Police Commission spokesperson says the councillor's request will be assessed in the coming months. The federal government is spending more than $8 million on 7 businesses in the Edmonton area. The money is intended to help these businesses grow and expand their operations. The feds say it will support more than 150 jobs across a range of sectors. One of the companies that will benefit is FlexAir. It manufactures fans for vehicle radiators. FlexAir CEO says this money will help his company create more parts.
What the robots and what the automation does is it allows the machines to run all night. Right now we can run about 3 or 4 hours at night. With the investment we're doing and that they're supporting, we'll be able, the goal is to run 24 hours.
The nearly $8.5 million comes from the Regional Tariff Response Initiative. That's a $1 billion national program aimed at helping Canadian businesses affected by foreign tariffs. People traveling along the Whitemud have something new to look at. A piece of art will live on the side of the LRT Operations and Maintenance Facility near 75th Street. It shows a pixelated vine system with flowers in different stages of bloom. It's called In Community We Grow. The artist says it's his representation of our city and its neighborhoods.
If you look at the public art, it mimics transit systems, which is the vines or the stems to the flowers, and the flowers for me are the communities. So transit systems connect communities.
He adds the different stages of the flowers show Edmonton's diversity. The artist says he's never had a public art installation of this size. Wheelchair basketball players from across Canada have hit the courts at the Saville Centre.
Well, the biggest difference in our sport is we're obviously sitting in a wheelchair. The chair doesn't move laterally like you would in stand-up, so now you got to be able to push, shoot, dribble, and pass all at the same time when you're still pushing a wheelchair. So there's a few modifications in the rules, but you'll notice how fast it really is.
Nordell says this tournament is the biggest event in Canada. It brings together all age divisions, including some of the top senior men's and women's athletes. Alberta Northern Lights is home to many national-level players. The organization is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. One of the players says there has been a huge growth in the sport.
We've grown exponentially over the past year, 2 years. So I think we're looking around like 60, 70 athletes total, somewhere in there, which is awesome to see. Wheelchair basketball is inclusive to everybody.
There are also scouts here. Some of the athletes are hoping to make the national team for Worlds. Ottawa is hosting that tournament this fall. Golfers are back into the swing of things at the Victoria driving range. People had the chance to tee off at the range for the first time this season. It will be open from 9 until 8 each day. Starting in May, the driving range will stay open until 9 o'clock on weeknights. Weekends, it will open at 7 o'clock in the morning. Golfers in the course have been looking forward to this day.
With all the snow we've been having, just felt super nice to just get out and finally do something outside for a change.
It's time to get going, so I think everyone's kind of frustrated because it seems like it wasn't going to come, but we're going to be in the 20s next week.
The city says opening dates for the Victoria, Riverside, and Rundle golf courses will be announced soon. The course hopes that will happen in the next couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks?
Couple of days, maybe? Rockies AS?
Maybe a couple days might be a little optimistic. It is. You heard Kevin say, though, we're in the 20s early next week. We'll show you that long-range forecast in a moment. Take a look outside right now. 7 degrees in Edmonton, 6 in Stony Plain, 8 degrees for a daytime high today. So we're just a degree off the high. We did have a good amount of sunshine earlier in the day. There's a bit of cloud cover sliding in from the west, northwest now. There have been some scattered showers in parts of central and north central Alberta. Some flurries there off to the southwest of Fort McMurray. Here at Edmonton, I think it's just increased cloud cover. There might be a couple neighborhoods that get a little sprinkle, but most of the city's going to stay dry for this evening. And then we'll get some clearing overnight tonight and sunshine in the forecast for tomorrow with temperatures back to around average. You see the average daytime high is 11. Average low is right around the freezing mark. It was way below zero this morning. -6 to start the day. Should only slip to about -2 for a morning low tomorrow. Look at the first 17 days of this month. 11 cooler than average days. Those 3 red ones, the only ones that are above average, those are the only double-digit days that we've had so far in the first 2 weeks of April. That's going to change. Double digits tomorrow. Big warm up with highs around 20 Monday, Tuesday, and most of the next week and a half. Temperatures are 10 degrees or warmer, which means average or warmer than average. So nice little change to the weather pattern as the melt kicks in starting this weekend.
Looks incredible. Thank you, Josh. Stay with us. Up next, a family's search for answers.
What made them comfortable to open that terrain that day? What mitigations did they put in place, if any?
2 months after an avalanche killed a 15-year-old skier, his family says they've heard nothing from the ski resort it happened at. Also next.
When you hand it over to some MLAs, then you have to worry if politics enters into their decision-making.
The Premier denies accusations of gerrymandering as Elections Alberta outlines potential issues with the plan to redraw the province's electoral map.
The CTV drone powered by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The family of the 15-year-old Calgary boy who died following an avalanche in Nikiska in February is still waiting for answers. They say they haven't heard a word from the ski hill or parent company, Resorts of the Canadian Rockies. Jacqueline Wilson reports.
Ever since Emilio Hisdera put on skis for the first time, he's excelled at the sport. It became his passion.
He was such an amazing person. He was the perfect son. He had endless energy.
The 15-year-old's life came to a tragic end. A day of ski racing at Nikiska was scrubbed due to too much snow on February 27th. Instead, Emilio and a friend went free skiing inbounds, and while boot packing uphill, they triggered an avalanche in the Monster Glades area. Emilio was fully buried and died the next day in hospital. The other boy was partially buried but survived. A day after, the Resort of the Canadian Rockies sent us a statement saying it was doing a full investigation and would have more details when they become available. The statement also included condolences. We've been reaching out ever since for an update on the investigation, but the company has not acknowledged our request or replied.
I think out of this whole thing, it's perhaps the most hurtful, maybe a bit insulting part. They haven't reached out at all to us. Not a condolence, not an apology. We haven't heard anything about the investigation that they're doing.
The family just wants answers and changes.
I hope just one day they can honestly just answer 2 questions. First question would be, what made them comfortable to open that terrain that day? What mitigations did they put in place, if any, to stop something like this from happening? And the second question, what have they learned from this? How are they going to change to make sure this doesn't happen again?
One mountain recreation expert told us investigations are normally done in days or weeks and says it may be some time before the investigation is public. Avalanche Canada says it also doesn't have any more information on the slide, but will be able to do an incident analysis once the period for a lawsuit to be filed is over, which is 2 years in Alberta. As for Emilio's family, they're now working to keep his memory alive with honorary events and awards.
I think most importantly, he was inspiring. I think he inspired everyone to be a better person.
Jacqueline Wilson, CTV News, Calgary.
Alberta's premier is denying accusations of gerrymandering as her government prepares to oversee the redrawing of the province's electoral map. Danielle Smith says a UCP-led committee to review proposed boundary changes will remain politically neutral. Tim Brooke has more on the process and why it could cause trouble for Elections Alberta.
It took an independent commission a full year to write this report and then remap Alberta's electoral boundaries. But the province says it will now instead turn to a government-led committee to revisit the map without public consultation.
My understanding is that we'll then go on to another review panel. They'll look at all of the information.
The Premier says concerns were raised about the size of some ridings, particularly in rural Alberta. 2 ridings there were redistributed in the reports, and Danielle Smith wants them back in.
It's all under the guidance of what was written in the addendum.
But, as one of the report authors points out, the recommendation that a committee of MLAs implement an expanded map came from only one member of the 5-member commission. Political watchers accuse the Premier of trying to rig the map.
This is really about extenuating rural representation and hindering and diluting urban representation. And urban Alberta is where the population growth is occurring.
Because rural Alberta votes so strongly for the Conservatives that if you shoehorn in some rural constituents into ridings that are otherwise urban, it makes them more likely to go Conservative.
And there are other issues at play. Elections Alberta needs at least a year and a half to prepare for an election with new ridings. Right now, we are that far out from the next provincial vote, and the new government-led committee still has until the fall to get its mapping done. That means more work for the agency and more costs to taxpayers.
So this is pretty unprecedented. Normally, these decisions are made quite quietly, and voters don't even realize how they're affected by boundaries until the election rolls around.
Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
The province is rolling out plans for modular classrooms outlined in the budget.
Through Budget 26, we are investing $600 million over the next 3 years to add more modular classrooms across our province. These modular classrooms help reduce crowded classroom conditions now, while we wait for new school buildings to come online.
The plan is to deliver 189 modulars over the next school year that will hold about 5,400 students. The portability means they can be quickly deployed to where they're needed most. The government has 161 school projects underway across the province. The modulars will provide space until the new buildings are ready. Alberta's first Indigenous-led recovery community held its grand opening today. The Blood Tribe Recovery Community has 75 beds for people dealing with addictions. The province paid to build and operate it. The Blood Tribe Department of Health will be responsible for running the facility, which will service southern Alberta. Residents will get free treatment for their addictions with traditional healing practices incorporated.
Goes back decades, actually, when you add it up, how long we've needed. That missing component in the continuum of care, right from detox to treatment to aftercare, all of those pieces have been slowly added to our community service model.
This is the first of 5 Indigenous-led recovery communities planned for the province. Still ahead, young poets slamming their way through a competition.
The points are not the point is the poetry. So it's a very friendly competition.
The local arts program embracing a performative and political medium. Also next.
I think kids often have much more insightful ideas when it comes to what would make them spend time on a street downtown.
A kid's eye view as students reimagine the future of downtown Edmonton with a different type of building block.
Beautiful conditions on the way for the weekend. You got some increasing cloud here for this evening, but with sunshine and temperatures into double digits, the big melt kicks into high gear. We'll show you that in a little more detail right after the break.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
The St. Albert Youth Arts Program is expanding its horizons to slam poetry.
You want me perfect, polished. I'm the next girl in line for a plastic job. Supposed to mold myself like clay under X-ray eyes.
Amplify held its first poetry slam last night at the St. Albert Art Gallery. A panel of judges awarded points to poets and handed out prizes. Slam poetry is known for its passionate performing style and political messaging.
Slam poetry especially, and just poetry in general, is one of the greatest mediums to do that.
As the poetry community says and the slam community says, the points are not the point is the poetry. So it's a very friendly competition meant to elevate the stakes of poetry, make sure people are writing their very best.
Amplify is a youth arts development program that organizes events and opportunities for young artists in St. Albert. Students are pitching design ideas for an Edmonton neighborhood using video games and Lego.
What are you guys building?
We're building a street, and we made a building. Yeah, we made a building right there.
Students at Bessie Nichols School broke off into teams to imagine what the quarter's downtown could look like in the future. Some students are learning about city planning and design through Minecraft. Others are using Lego.
I think kids often have much more insightful ideas when it comes to what would make them spend time on a street downtown. And we get a lot of fun and whimsical ideas, so I love days like today.
This is the second year of the Students Build Edmonton partnership between the city and the public school division.
I want to know what some of those ideas were.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Well, maybe they'll share them with us. Maybe. And the weather coming up. It's a great time to be an Edmontonian with the Oilers playoff hockey.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
spring finally here.
Maybe you want to spend more time outside downtown if it's warmer outside. That will be the case this weekend and beyond. First, let's take a look through the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam. Action Furnace, fixed right over its free. 7 degrees after hitting 8 for a daytime high earlier in the day today. We'll get to your daytime highs across the province in a moment. We mentioned this earlier. It's been more like April shivers than April showers through the first half of April. Fewest double-digit days since 2020. We've only had 3. 2020 opened with none. Look at last year, though. 11 double-digit days. 12 the year before. Out of 15 days, 12 of them in 2024 were above 10 degrees. It's been a little different story this year, although that's going to change. 2 in Fort McMurray for a high today. 9 in Grand Prairie, 7 in Red Deer. Lloydminster only made it back to the freezing mark. We were at 8 here in the city. Scattered flurries off to the southwest, Fort McMurray. A few hit-and-miss showers in the Red Deer region, and those have fallen apart. These are still kicking around just off to the northwest and west of the Westlock area. I think for the most part, it's just cloudy skies through this evening. There might be a couple of sprinkles that go through a few neighborhoods. Most areas should stay fairly dry, aside from the melting. There's sunshine for tomorrow. Not only in the morning hours, but right through the day, we'll be under mainly sunny skies. And then you get some increase in cloud as Sunday goes on. There's a low pressure system that's going to move across the north. That'll bring some rain to northeastern Alberta late in the day Sunday. Northwestern sections, you may see some scattered showers there. For us here in Edmonton, we just get a nice kick of some warm air coming in out of the south, out ahead of that low pressure system. And so watch your temperatures. There's tomorrow. There's Sunday, a little bit warmer, should be in that 15 to 20 degree range. And then highs will be up around 20. Monday, Tuesday, could even see some mid to high 20 temperatures in parts of southern Alberta. There's your cool down for Wednesday, and that's thanks to some cloudier skies and a good chance of showers for Wednesday or Thursday of next week. So we'll keep an eye on that. Doesn't really look like there's much of a snow risk in the forecast over the next little while, though. Just rain. 2 in Fort McMurray, 8 for Grand Prairie, 6 in Red Deer right now. As we said, we're at 7 degrees with light wind here in the city currently. Wind stays light overnight tonight. You get a slight chance of a shower there mid-evening. Then just cloudy periods overnight. Sunshine for most of the day tomorrow. And a high of about 12, maybe even 13 degrees. Should get to about 17 on Sunday with some increasing cloud cover through the afternoon. And look at your morning lows. -8 yesterday, -6 this morning, -2 tomorrow morning. So it's still a little touch of frost, but above 0. After that, right through into the first half of next week. Highs near 20 Monday, Tuesday, closer to the 8 to 10 degree range for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, with that chance of rain Wednesday and or Thursday of next week. Temperatures bounce back up into the 10 to 15 degree range Saturday, Sunday, Monday as we start to close out the month of April. So the warmest couple of days in the next week and a half should be Monday, Tuesday, but we're average or above average, it looks like, right through to the end of the month.
Thank you, Josh. Still ahead on CTV News at 6, the Strait of Hormuz is open.
It's going to take another few weeks, I think, in my mind, before we start seeing the big vessels coming through.
Potential effects and timelines of the reopening of the vital shipping corridor, and
will provide direct relief to more than 12 million Canadians.
An offering from Ottawa to offset the rising cost of groceries.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
Ships are now moving through the Strait of Hormuz, the crucial energy corridor that's become the focal point of the Middle East war. Iran says the waterway is fully open to commercial vessels, but Donald Trump says the blockade on Iranian ships will remain in force. CTV's Adrian Gobriel has more.
This critical waterway has been a turbulent geopolitical flashpoint for more than a month. The Strait of Hormuz, through which 20% of the world's oil is shipped, has reopened. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi writing on social media that in line with the ceasefire in Lebanon, the passage for all commercial vessels through the Strait of Hormuz is declared completely open for the remaining period of the ceasefire. U.S. President Donald Trump confirming the development as well, while posting on his Truth Social page that the naval blockade will remain in full force and effect as it pertains to Iran, only until such time as our transaction with Iran is 100% complete.
It should pave the way for, negotiations to end this war. Or it could also be used just to put pressure on the United States with their blockade against, commerce coming out of Iran.
While oil fell more than 10% Friday, the average price at the pumps for Canadians remains elevated. Gas price experts are predicting an 8-cent drop by Tuesday, though that's after an 8-cent spike across parts of the country expected tomorrow.
That's because of the switch to summer gas from winter gas. Then you have the drop in excise tax on Monday, and so everything's wish-washing around.
This comes as Air Canada announced it's suspending flights from Toronto and Montreal to New York's JFK International Airport from June 1st until October 25th due to rising jet fuel prices that are cutting into their profits. In Europe, the International Energy Agency says that continent has roughly 6 weeks of jet fuel remaining, with potential flight cancellations on the horizon as well.
It's going to take another few weeks, I think, in my mind, before we start seeing the big vessels coming through. And then it's going to take another 6 weeks on the sea to move things like aviation fuel to those countries that are running out of fuel as we speak today.
Any hope of peace and stability in these waters hangs on the ebbs and flows of ongoing negotiations. Though safety concerns do still remain in the strait, President Trump today claiming that the U.S. is now working with Iran to remove mines from the vital waterway. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
The U.S. Commerce Secretary criticized Canada's trade strategy as the CUSMA renegotiation deadline looms. Howard Lutnick specifically took aim at Prime Minister Mark Carney's trip to China.
We are a $30 trillion economy, right? We are the consumer of the world, okay? Carney has a problem with us. He gets on a plane and he goes to China. Does he think the Chinese economy is going to buy his stuff? China is entirely an export-driven economy.
Back in January, Carney struck a deal to allow 49,000 Chinese EVs a year into this country in exchange for the removal of Chinese tariffs on Canadian agricultural products. Ottawa is giving Canadian families some financial relief in the form of a one-time grocery benefit.
Will provide direct relief to more than 12 million Canadians, helping to offset the cost of groceries for working families.
Payout arrives in early June, replacing the existing GST HST credits. Anyone who's eligible for that program is eligible for the payout. Single Canadians without children will get a maximum $267, while single people with children will receive $441 for one child and up to $717 with 4 children. Married or common-law Canadians without kids will get a maximum $349. Then the benefit escalates at the same rate. The payouts are in addition to the overall quarterly benefit. And a reminder, you must file your income tax return to qualify. Drones now have regulatory approval to carry explosives at BC's Whistler Ski Resort. Believed to be a first in Canada, a Squamish, BC company flew explosives to avalanche risk areas at Whistler Blackcomb. The drones dropped explosives on areas of unstable snow, a preemptive safety measure to trigger avalanches when skiers are not around. Avalanche Canada says the number of fatal avalanches over the past 10 years has shown a slight decline. As of April, at least 13 people in Canada have been killed in avalanche accidents this year. The polar bears at the Calgary Zoo have started meeting face-to-face. There's the moment the new polar bear, Yelly, got a close look at Siku. Up until this week, they'd only seen each other from a distance. Zoo officials say the bears got to see, sniff, and hear each other up close. They say it's an encouraging step towards the bears eventually sharing a habitat. Still ahead, a posthumous portrayal raising questions about the ethics of AI in movies.
Right now, we are in the Wild Wild West of AI usage.
A look at a new movie starring a completely artificial version of late actor Val Kilmer.
Monday in your morning, concerns about legalizing online gambling and the impact on young people. Plus, can gentle parenting get too gentle? And we prepare for playoff hockey.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
Checking on the markets, the Canadian dollar closed near 73 cents U.S. Oil down more than $8, closing the day around $82 a barrel. Gold gained $71. The TSX is up 294 points. The Dow Jones 868. Ford is recalling approximately 144,000 Ford F-150 vehicles in Canada. The recall affects 2015 to 2017 model year vehicles equipped with 6-speed automatic transmissions. The company says there is a gear shift that may lead to an unexpected downshift into a lower gear while the vehicle is in motion. Alberta and BC have renewed their wine sales agreement. BC wineries will be allowed to continue direct sales to Alberta consumers. It's part of a memorandum of understanding, which will remain in effect until March 31st of next year. The provincial government says this agreement ensures Albertans have more choice when it comes to the products they purchase. A new debate is emerging in Hollywood around the ethics of artificial intelligence. 1 year after his death, actor Val Kilmer is being recreated by AI in a new movie he was too sick to shoot. CTV's Andrew Johnson reports on the reaction.
The filmmakers are calling this an award-worthy performance as a Catholic priest in a Western, except Val Kilmer himself had nothing to do with it. Movie trailers are made to build buzz. This one is showcasing a star recreated with AI after his death.
Don't fear the dead, and don't fear me.
After Val Kilmer was cast in the movie As Deep as the Grave, he became too sick to shoot his scenes. Now, just a year after Kilmer died at age 65 following a long battle with throat cancer, a technological and cinematic achievement portraying the actor at multiple ages in a major role.
It's a very artistic process and a patient process where we build this character that he would have played. And working with his family, this is where we use family photographs, we use voice recordings.
Kilmer's family gave their permission and say the actor was also on board before his death. But the digital creation is raising new questions about the ethical use of AI.
Right now, we are in the Wild Wild West of AI usage. There are a few people in our Hollywood business that do love movies, that do love TV shows, and want to make the best version of those. There are others that are looking at this as the ultimate money saver for us in the future.
Writers and actors went on strike in 2023 demanding safeguards against AI, and some have spoken out against Kilmer's posthumous portrayal. The filmmakers are standing by their decision.
We're in this project demonstrating what we think is a good way to appropriately handle a performance like this in an ethical way.
The digital likeness of Kilmer appears on screen for more than an hour. It's the latest example of the line between reality and AI becoming very blurry and, for many, increasingly uncomfortable.
In Vancouver, a virtual singer will be playing to a sold-out crowd this weekend. Hatsune Miku will hit the stage at UBC. The performance features the animated character projected onto screens, often clear ones that create a holographic effect for the audience. Performances have happened at venues as big as Coachella. She was originally developed in 2007 by a Japanese media company as a mascot for voice synthesizer software. Celine Dion has released a new single days after announcing a series of comeback shows in Paris this year. French ballad called Dansons, meaning Let's Dance, comes with a romantic music video. The new single is Dion's latest step back into the spotlight. The Canadian icon stepped away from performing because of health issues that forced her last world tour to be cancelled. Coming up, a battle of verbs.
It's conjugated verbs and you're using a table and you're putting them in a table.
French immersion students put their conjugation to the test in a verbathon.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV.
A conjugation competition was held at Ross Shepherd High School today. Verbathon pits French immersion elementary students against each other, racing to conjugate verbs in written and spoken work. More than 200 students competed in the sports-style tournament. Students from Quentin, J.A. Fife, Dunluce, and Greenfield schools participated.
This is just a really fun, interactive way for kids to learn and memorize their French verbs, but in a really hands-on, active race competition.
It's conjugated verbs and you're using a table and you're putting them in a table.
It's not that hard. We practice it in our school so we come prepared.
Verbathon culminates in a national tournament every 2 years.
A lot of students here, especially my age, struggle with mental health, and I feel like Bikeathon helps raise awareness.
McNally High School students pedaled to raise money and awareness for a local mental health organization. CASA helps Albertans as old as 18 with their mental health. The students' Bikeathon goal was to raise $30,000. So far, they've raised $52,000.
This means so much. It's the community coming together. It's a lot of people giving what they can at any level and just realizing how important mental health care is for kids, families right here in Edmonton.
12 teams of students started pedaling at 10 o'clock this morning. They'll keep cycling until 10 o'clock tonight.
All right, take a look at the satellite and radar map. You can see there's a few scattered showers north and northwest of the city. I think for the most part, it's just going to be cloudy through this evening, but there might be a couple neighborhoods that get a little brief shower, and we'll be back to sunshine tomorrow, -2 in the morning, and 12 for a high tomorrow afternoon, 17 on Sunday, sunny in the morning, some increasing cloud late in the day, and highs near 20 Monday, Tuesday, little brief cool down middle of next week with a chance of some rain Wednesday, Thursday. But overall, we've turned a corner and there's warmer weather for the rest of the month.
Sounds fantastic. Thank you, Josh, and thank you very much for sharing your time with us. For news anytime, check out our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Have a great weekend.